How you doing, guys? This is the Lord Humongous from RuleTheWasteland.com, and I wanted to show you a little kind of crafty thing I came up with. Maybe I'll throw it up on Pinterest, or maybe I'll make my own website called Mantrist with awesome masculine Pinterest type items. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. One thing I like to do is get these giant rolls of toilet paper because they're cheaper and they last a lot longer. And if you were so inclined, you could even pick up a little tool like this to open up the containers that these are in government buildings and acquire some free of charge. Not that I recommend doing that, but it is something that you could keep on hand after the apocalypse. You could run around and get some free toilet paper so that you don't have to crack those things open with a crowbar. The only problem with these is they're too big to fit on most normal toilet paper holders. In my bathroom, I didn't have one on the wall anyway. I was already using this freestanding kind of toilet paper holder, and as you can see, it fits in there right now, but the distance here is such that when the rolls are new, or even for most of their life, they're just not gonna fit on this holder. So I came up with something. Decided to make my own version of that, but that wasn't limited by the backing, basically. So just one arm that can hold the toilet paper roll, and I decided to make it look badass too. So I did this, way overbuilt it, but I created mine out of this iron pipe, and I used a weight plate on the bottom. I used a floor flange to screw the pipe into, and in the future, when I become a real man and get some welding equipment and learn how to weld, I can attach these. As of right now, it's just sitting on there, which works fine, but you know, obviously it's not as cool as if it was one solid piece. So I just had a floor flange, two 12-inch sections of pipe, a coupler for the middle, a 90-degree elbow, and a cap on the end just to keep the thing from sliding off. Now, you don't have to use 1-inch pipe. The only reason I honestly used 1-inch pipe is because when I was at Lowe's, they were out of the floor flange for the smaller size piping. So I would use basically as small as you could get away with, simply because it's lighter and cheaper. They probably, you know, 1/2 inch, maybe even 3/8 inch if you could get the floor flange, whatever the smallest thing you can get the floor flange in. And this can be as tall as you want, basically how far off the floor you want it. And then this section should probably be at least 4 inches, because I mean, these are, it looks about 4 inches wide. This is a 6-inch pipe, but you get a little bit of distance on either end because of the threads. They don't thread it completely on the cap. So I can take this apart so I can show you how it works from the top. And obviously, if you need to disassemble this ever for travel, you've just screwed it together. So this is what the top looks like, and I just screwed the cap on there so that when this sits on there like that, and you can just roll it, and there's not enough friction to really matter. It doesn't need to spin. And there you go. And then you just take off whatever TP you need so you can keep your cornhole nice and clean after the apocalypse or beforehand. Like Jack Spirko says, when times get tough, or even if they don't, you're gonna need some toilet paper. So come up with it. If you want to copy this cool design, you could probably make this out of PVC, but I would use probably a 1-inch PVC so it doesn't flex, and you're just going to have to make sure that you counterweight, because obviously with it sticking out to the side like this, you can't just have it sitting on the floor flange. It'll topple over. So you could screw it into a cool cross section of a log, maybe. That'd be a pretty manly design as well. Or you could use the weight plate like I have, or you can attach it into pretty much anything. You could even try to make a counter, you know, tripod type base out of more pipe, but I would go with this, the less pipe the better, because the pipe is probably the more expensive part of this. But yeah, all in all, it works pretty good and looks cool, and allows me to use any size toilet paper roll. So let me know what you guys think, and if you come up with anything similar, and I will talk to you later.